Well, it appears that Joe Douglas is eyeing up that Jets general manager position. And I'm starting to cry. He's set to interview for the Jets general manager position this weekend. The request by the Jets was put in last week to interview him. And, here's the thing about the Eagles. They've pretty much turned down all requests for him to be interviewed by pretty much all of these teams the last few seasons. But now the difference is the Jets are offering Douglas final say on all personnel moves, according to Adam Kaplan on Twitter. For those asking, leaked source on Jets general manager opening, new GM will have significant control, at least 53-man roster and draft. Not clear on 47-man or free agency, but 53-man and draft makes it clear it's a real GM job, meaning that guy will make most, if not all, of the decisions. There are 4 other candidates that the Jets are interested in. You've got Champ Kelly, Scott Fitterer, George Patton, and Terry Fontenot. But Douglas is considered to be the favorite. And the difference between that GM job and what he's doing right now, well, it's the control and having all of that significant control. Because at the end of the day, Howie Roseman has final say. And, I believe, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but obviously the Eagles have this collaboration. And I believe that Howie Roseman's basically taking care of all the money and pretty much all the free agency, while Joe Douglas is taking care of the draft. And the reason why I say this is that there seems to be some philosophical differences in how the Eagles have drafted recently over when Howie, Andy, Chip, they were all in charge. Now, Howie Roseman has admitted that, he's looked to correct his mistakes and do things differently, but at the end of the day, I think Joe Douglas is the one who's really, really pulling that trigger for the NFL draft. And if they lose Joe Douglas, it'll be interesting to see how the Eagles draft moving forward. So with that being said, let's kind of look at the recent NFL drafts. It's kind of hard to even give them grades yet because they still haven't been completed. So 2017 was the first draft that Joe Douglas took a part in, and that was the one where we had Derek Barnett go in the first round. People booed the pick because they wanted Reuben Foster, and this is going to be the make or break year for Barnett. So can he get, say, 8 sacks? Can he get in double digits? This is a breakout year potentially for Derek Barnett, and we'll see if Joe kind of hit that pick. And the other one is Sidney Jones there in the second round. Obviously, all that injury history, the Eagles took a chance. Well, not really taking a chance on him in the second round because, he was supposed to be a first-round guy, but took a chance on his injury history, and this is going to be the make-or-break year now for Sidney Jones. So there's that. And then you look at the rest of this draft. I mean, there's some guys that have contributed but not really contributed greatly. We've seen Rasul Douglas play some corner. Maybe he moves to safety eventually. Matt Collins got drafted in the 4th round. Promising rookie year, and then he shit the bed and kind of got hurt. Now it's like, where the hell is he gone? Donnell Pumphrey, don't need to talk about him. He stinks. Shelton Gibson, he looked like he could have potentially broke out last year if you watched him in the preseason last year, but then really didn't do anything during the regular season, and that was that. Nathan Jerry, they drafted him as a linebacker, played safety at Nebraska. Really hasn't done much. Elijah Qualls, well, I don't even think he's on the team. Yeah, he's not even on the team anymore. So you look at that draft, and then you look at the 2018 NFL draft, and I thought another one here where they took value and they didn't reach for anybody, and that's the one thing that I've noticed since Joe Douglas has come to Philadelphia is the fact that the Eagles don't reach for anybody anymore. They look at the board, they take the best player available. They don't try to get too cute, and they help the football team and they help the roster. So you look at last year, they didn't have a pick until the end of the first round. They traded back to get into the second. They took Dallas Goedert, a luxury pick, at 49 overall. And to be quite honest with you, I think Dallas Goedert's going to have a huge year this year. I'm very, very high on him. Tight ends, generally for the most part, don't contribute that much to the rookie season, but second year, watch out. And considering the development already in his blocking, Dallas Goedert might be a beast very soon. Avonte Maddox was the second pick, fourth-round selection. I love this pick. This might be honestly be my favorite draft pick of the last 3 years, to get Avonte in the fourth round, considering the fact that when they drafted him, I didn't like the pick. Then I watched him on film. I hated Avonte even more. And then he came, he saw, and he conquered. And he was amazing. Jim Schwartz loved him. Jim Schwartz likes to use him all over the place. Single high, slot, outside corner, wherever you want him to go, Avonte Maddox can play it. Josh Sweat was the fourth-round pick. Matt Pryor was the sixth, and then Jordan Mailata was the seventh. And then obviously we just had the NFL draft a few months ago. So those are some of the picks there during the Joe Douglas here regime. I would guess that if Douglas leaves, Andy Weidel would pretty much be slid into Joe Douglas's role. So I think that's what would happen. I'm expecting Joe Douglas to take that job. I think he's going to take it. I think he's going to leave. And, we'll see how the Eagles approach this moving forward and how they draft if Joe Douglas does, in fact, leave Philadelphia. So those are my thoughts on this video. And that's that. I'm Adrian Fedkiw. I'm out. Peace.